We've got a full program this morning because we have a very special speaker here with us today. So I've invited Sharon to just talk about the lessons I just learned really over the last 7 years. And Sharon, enough from me. Over to you.
Thank you, Tanya. I'm going to be the color of my pink outfit, except with a tinge of red with all the blushing I'm busy doing at the moment. But interesting, I've got two old faces I can see on my screen. One, Mike, I blame you 100% for causing this. And Deva for being an absolute support from day one. Two founding members of the chamber present on my front screen. And two other people also on my front screen. Okay, they've disappeared now because you've highlighted me, but that's absolutely fine. No, absolutely fine. You do what you like, whatever's needed. I have got the two gentlemen who are standing inside my shoes at the moment. It's quite crowded in here, but Sven and Dennis are both present as our incoming CEO and incoming chairman already. So I thank them for making this departure possible, because thanks to the journey that has occurred, we talk about some funny things that have happened in this journey. And one of the funny things was how it all started. I was asked to go and help chair a meeting of the board, and I did this thing is now fighting with me, joined the chamber, and Mike said, well, join the chamber. I became a director, and 2 years later we had one of those sort of defining telephone calls where the chairman said, due to her work commitments, she could no longer do the job. And we all had a discussion. I said, look, I'm too busy. There's no ways I can do this. I'll do it. And then I left the rest of the guys to continue the board meeting. I went off to one of my meetings, and 2 weeks later I thought, what happened? The rest is history. I said I would do 2 months until the AGM. I didn't know 2 months could last 7.5 years. If you can get this amount done in 2 months, actually, that's a good idea. Very good idea. But anyway, that's not quite the way it worked. So thanks to 4 very important people in the chamber, all sitting here with me and supporting today. Thank you very much. Some of the lessons I'd like to, or points of interest, I don't know how to describe them. Anyway, topics. First one is the many hats. Whenever you take on a pro bono role, you're invariably putting on a hat in addition to the hats you potentially have already sitting on your head. My other hat, one of my other hats, is corporate governance. And corporate governance code of the UK and South Africa particularly state that the CEO and chairman should not be the same person. I have got the best case history I can ever share with my customers. It's not a good idea. It was tough. It's really hard chairing a meeting, going through the agenda, responding, giving the information, being the CEO, and you're also the chairman of the meeting. I have to say that was 7 very difficult years as the chairman of the meeting. That part of it, I have to say, I found extremely difficult, and can share that learning with other business owners that I work with as much as I do. Another area that I can almost feel the difference already is there's no time off. You are always, to use the word as presently, on camera. At all times, you are present, you're being watched, you're part of it. There's no escaping. You are present all the time with everybody else around you and the team. And you can be found, it doesn't matter where you are in today's world. I feel followed. We were chatting and having a laugh just before we came online. There are people in this community who know me extremely well and will pitch up at events, say, oh, I know your parents, I know this, I know that. And I think, who are you? And just realizing how you become known to everyone, and the very large network that this role has given me the fantastic opportunity of achieving. I know my network is way bigger than I know. I would say I probably don't know 90% of the people in my network, but what I do see as an opportunity going forward is being able to monetize to get to know, to be able to enjoy that network. In a way of being chairman and CEO, it was always in the chamber perspective. But now that hat is only a half hat going forward. It's only a peak cap. It's not a hat anymore. So I'll be able to get to know people and to be able to engage in a different way. And I'm looking forward to that changed energy, which I'm already starting to feel very distinctly. I think one of the sort of never off camera moments is having had this gentle slide out of the role and the other two, Dennis and Sven, coming into the role. I think it has been an easier process of moving out of that very visible space that I've felt, where you are literally, you dress for the day every day, knowing that you are open, you're present, you've been witnessed, watched every single day of your life. So it's actually been quite an interesting observation, that how that changes your life. The other aspect of something that I have learned, valued, enjoyed, it's aligned to my character, is the amount of self-motivation required in a pro bono role. No one's going to do it for you. The only way it's going to happen is you've got to lead the team. Doesn't matter who you are in that team, whether you're in the exco, in the advisory, you have to self-motivate. You have to move forward. You've got to make a difference. And being the leader of those pro bono people, how you honestly have to find the energy that Tanya was talking about and bring it to the fore, and to motivate others, and to have the creative ideas, have the tenacity. And it's never too difficult. It can be done. And I just think of some of the too difficult moments we have had in these, particularly 7 of the 9 years. We had difficult moments as a director only as well, but they're different when you are in the front seat and you've got the steering wheel and you're doing the work. And I think probably one of the lessons I can share with other people in their day jobs is always be your authentic self, because when under stress, you can still be yourself. You're not trying to be someone else. Then under stress becomes something else that people say, well, where did that come from? And I've learned a lot about people because I've had to deal with a lot of people rather than just a team in my own business, and how we are all so different as to how we cope. How do we cope under pressure? How do we cope to self-motivate? How do we cope when it's busy? Who can multitask? Who can't? Who responds to certain circumstances in certain ways? And you get to really understand people. And that, for me, in my day job of governance, has been a wonderful insight of being able to learn even more about people in a completely different environment. And one of the things I'm looking to do now, in amongst the other jobs, I'm going to put another peak cap on and looking for a non-executive director role, to be part of a team instead of always being the leader. I've done so much leading teams. My own business, I'm CEO. So I'm looking forward to being part of a team, but not having to be the leader of a team. So let's see if I can get that one to materialize, because that's what I'm working on. And some of the things I was trying to think, when you go blank, you think, what were some of the funny moments? Do you think I could think of one? Like, they all evaded me completely. So a couple of very innocent ones I could dream up was sitting on the back of a game vehicle, trying to make some critical decision. I can't remember what it was, but one of the team and I were on the phone. I was at the back on the top, and there was a young bull elephant mock charging us at the same time. And there I am trying to keep a straight face, keep a straight voice, thinking, just getting a little close for comfort. And there was sand and dust and bellowing and all sorts of things going on everywhere. And I'm trying to have a serious meeting. So I thought, yes, the chamber can find me anywhere. That I learned. I learned that one, absolutely. Another funny moment that I do remember, and I remember at the time thinking, oh, this looks so stupid. That's all I could think of. About to walk into the Egyptian Hall at Mansion House with the past Lord Mayor, Sir Peter Estlin. And he stands about 6'7", 6'8". And I'm a midget in comparison. And I can tell you, I felt it that day. I absolutely felt like this little midget sort of tottering around next to this tall, lanky character. And I thought, this does look stupid. So that was one of the funny moments I remember. And one of the things that I remember looking at and thinking, so what are some of the things we achieved? And one of the achievements that I do remember was sitting in the library reading room of the High Commission, and Stuart and I, with limited technology, absolutely limited technology, none of the fancy stuff we did eventually use from time to time. We had a hybrid audience and we had a hybrid panel, and we were doing both. So we had 2 panel debates, and on both panel debates, we had people on screen and we had people in the room. And in the audience, we had the audience on hybrid like we all are now, and we had 100 odd people in the room. And I remember sitting there thinking, well, COVID has taught us a few things, and we did it on literally our laptops. And it's amazing what you can achieve in those kind of environments. And I know we don't do it often, but that was for me was a big achievement moment. There are 2 other big achievements. So if I go back to one of the earlier ones, for me was the Solidarity Walk, where in chatting amongst the team, okay, we're going to walk, and then we got the Strava involved, and then we looked at how far we could go. And then, of course, I just kept setting the limits, doubling the limits, doubling the limits. And we said, okay, well, let's go from Cape Town to Beitbridge. Collective kilometers, miles that we were walking globally for charity. We doubled it again. And we came all the way back to Cape Town and continued out into the ocean on the way to Antarctica. So as a achievement of raising money, but just raising the awareness, the Ubuntu of the solidarity of people being able to do things on six continents, raising money together and walking thousands of miles. There was almost 3,000 miles or something that we'd walked. It was a huge distance and a huge achievement, done literally on a shoestring of energy, literally is what we did it on. The other big achievement for me is the profile of South Africa in the city, which was the focus of this year, 30th year anniversary of democracy. And for the Chamber, we were culminating everything to be South Africa in the city and making sure that we had visibility of South Africa within the city environment, largest trade capital of the world, massive financial services center, and make sure that South Africa will never be forgotten, irrespective. And I think we achieved that in a good way. There's lots more work to be done. And what I love is what I've achieved is a foundation on which the new energy and the new leadership are going to build upon. And so that is something else we've achieved. To close, some of those things I've already talked about. I'm just trying to think, how do I close this? Maybe as a close, I was asked to do to talk about 3 things, which in a way I've done through the various threads I've talked about. But I'm going to talk about the 3 Ps, and we've done that in marketing enough in our lives, the 5 Ps, the 3 Ps. But this one is, what can we take with us in business that makes us a better person and drive better outcomes? And for me, what came to me is people. We are a person. We need to engage with people. We can't live in a COVID-style world. We're talking about networking, getting youngsters to network. Yeah, they really are suffering more from the COVID environment than we do. And honestly, we do suffer from it still. And having to learn to network again and to be in people's company and to engage with people and to benefit and learn through them. The second P is to have a purpose. We need to have that energy, have a reason for being. I mean, I would hate to have gone through these 4 months to say, well, what am I going to do now? And I see the value of having journeys so that people can get used to change, because we're not good as a human race to deal with change. So we need to have a purpose and be able to drive forward to it with the third P, passion. If we're not passionate about what we're doing in life, and we can't get excited about the little things that we have to do and need to do, and about the people and about what we're doing, then why? One of the things I have seen through the Chamber, and yes, I knew charity existed. Yes, I was aware things were done for not-for-profit reasons, for others. But coming to the UK and then getting involved in the chamber, realizing the massive, massive global degree of work that is done for others by those that have achieved. And that for me is just absolutely amazing. And I've learned a lot through people selflessly giving for others. And South Africa so desperately needs that receiving of that giving, and how much we have seen people do give to South Africa. And I know, having had this role, I have given more to South Africa this way than I could possibly ever done carrying on my day job in South Africa, because you're busy doing your day job. I don't see that world. Here I've seen it. And if I've made a difference to one entrepreneur, I feel good. I know through our chambers, our chapters, our people, our webinars, our everything that we've done, we have made a difference to people in South Africa. And I take the challenge and take it over to others who are going to do that ongoing, where the chamber is going to have a meaning to as many people in South Africa as we possibly can. That's me.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was wonderful, and just so again, you use the word authentic. I know it's used a lot, but that was a very, very much a Sharon heart to heart. If I can jump in with one question, you mentioned the self-motivation in a pro bono role. So if I could ask, what kept you going?
That's a really interesting question. I think part will be character. I don't know how to say no, bad part of the character. The other element is I don't see failure as an option in anything. That's part of the character element of it. The other one is seeing the smile, the benefit, the thank you, the benefit, the fact that it delivers a benefit to somebody else, and how others have benefited from all the efforts we've put in as the chamber. That for me kept me going. So both my own self-needs of non-failure and the other self-need of seeing the value that we are delivering as a chamber, and just keeping the energy going, putting South Africa on the map. I mean, when I first started this role, people were saying, well, I've heard of Australia, but I don't know much about South Africa. Oh, and I can see Stuart's personal trainer getting upset. Okay, I'll shut up in a moment. You can wait, personal trainer. So, and it used up time, and it kept me energized, kept me going. And I would really struggle to find time for my own businesses, because you were utilizing this energy, just kept us motivated, kept me going. And I've loved every element of the 9 years. My family think I'm completely and utterly bonkers. They've committed me many times to a sanatorium, virtually, thank God, saying I'm absolutely completely mad. But I have really, really enjoyed it. And I sincerely hope that all the others that are still here and part of the chamber and everything that takes forward enjoy it as much as I have.
Super, thank you so much. Do we have another question? Now, I can't see everybody, so maybe just speak up. Any question?
I can't be silence. I know so many.
No, I know.
Everyone's
You know,
doing
I can step in here as the incoming CEO and say, I mean, she's done a great job.
Which ones do you want?
Yeah,
The
exactly. The red ones, the high ones, the high heels, if I could. And yeah, I mean, Dennis and I have our jobs cut out for us, I tell you, because there's a lot to do, a lot to pick up on. Yeah, I've committed to 2 years. 9 years is a long time. We will see, because
I committed 2 months. My God, you're in trouble.
Yeah, no, 3 months. And also, you know, Sharon still looks good for all of it. So I just know how she does it. Anyway, I'm going to find that secret out at some stage.
Sharon, I've got a question.
Hi, James.
Where do you see the chamber in 10 years? What's your dream?
Oh, thank you. That's such a lovely question. I see it having premises, a physical location, a much bigger role in operating with our international high commissions, our international South African chambers, of which you're leading. I just want to see South Africa far more more structure to it than the energy we had? Can that energy turn into structure such that we are absolutely present in the mind's eye, government, South Africa here and internationally? And I think some of the things will be a permanent executive and a permanent location. I mean, even if it's just an office, it's fine, and a meeting room, that's all you need. But I think those two things would give a much stronger foundation than energy alone.
Right. Yep. Let's hope.
No pressure, Sven.
Sharon, how
I
does
just
that
say, just
impact-
so you know, on the 5th of December, officially, we will have a place to sit.
Yep.
So
All
make your
good.
dreams come true as we go, Sharon.
Thank you.
Tamara, go for it.
I was just saying that the ambition was obviously for an office or a physical space, but what does that say for the impact of the chamber over the next 10 years to further answer that question?
Yeah, so take that question to outcomes is our ultimate purpose as a chamber is to improve the lives of South Africans. So if I come up a step, the step above that is promoting international trade and promoting South African businesses, creating growth to South African related businesses wherever they might be. They might be here, they might be there, they might be elsewhere. And one of the things that we tried to achieve while I was in the chamber, and we didn't fully get there, is the Commerce Centre, and that's its nickname, whatever it gets called in its future. But a way where we are driving those business outcomes, not because we just heard about we put two people together and found out they've just done some amazing stuff, but we didn't know about it. It's knowing more about the outcomes that we are driving and having a greater part in those journeys so that there are a lot more of them, that there's a lot more delivery there. Giving the South African government, the South African High Commissioner, even greater support than we've been able to do up until now to get things to happen. For example, taking the High Commissioner to Jersey this month. In April, we're taking him to the Isle of Man. You know, how can we do things for government officials that in their environment they don't dream of? But we have the capacity, the networks, to actually take South Africans into that greater network. So seeing the outcome of South Africa being present and through our government environments and how we can work with them to make a greater difference. And ultimately, what is that going to do is improve the economic outcomes in South Africa. And that is where we need to drive it, because our South Africans, we all send money back to South Africa. We all send things back, value back, strength back to the country in some way, whether it's charity, love, business, or just supporting somebody, giving a family a meal. There's so many ways we can give back. So South Africa needs to be able to say, the chamber made a difference. And then I think the chamber is achieving its altruistic objectives. At the same time, I'd like to see the chamber more stable in terms of the balance between membership and what we want to do. We want to do more than our membership is allowing us to do. So therefore, the membership needs to grow so that the chamber can be as big as it wants to be. So this is where people like you join in with Sven, Dennis, and the rest of the board and the ExCo team, who I just have to thank. If it weren't for the ExCo team, I promise you, there would have been days I would have said, oh my God, I can't do this. But yes, we've had a very strong ExCo team. And just to thank specifically Stuart, Juliet, and Annette, who've been absolutely amazing. And the others, I've already mentioned them, thank. But those three have just been amazing at the day-to-day, making sure I stay sane while I chase them around the world, say, where are you, what you doing? So the outcome needs to be the value that we drive and the fact that we are known to be solution-driven. If you want a solution, come to the chamber, we will find it.
Super. Thank you very much. I'm going to open. That was lovely, Sharon. Thank you so much for oh, Deva, you're going to be my last one asking you a question, and then I'm going to get you all to network. This is all I was thinking I'm going to have so many networking sessions here. It's all going to, but this is a special day. We have Sharon in the room. She is going. Deva, over to you.
Thank you very much indeed. As Sharon said at the outset, one of the last two surviving
founder members. I have to say, under Sharon's jurisdiction, the chamber has really blossomed, and it would never be where it is now had it not been for the efforts that she put into it, day and night. And I think I'm right in saying that, Sharon. She's worked very, very hard to get the chamber. And Mike will tell you, when we started, we were an itsy-bitsy little outfit, and now we're almost a mega outfit. That's just one point. Secondly, I must compliment Sharon in the number of people that we had coming over from South Africa to address the chamber, whether they were political or business. And there's so much we can still do in that area. I've just returned from a month in South Africa and met several business people. And there's so much more, I think, from the UK that we can transfer into South Africa. And I don't say that in a derogatory or condescending way, but there's so much of improvement that's needed in the South African business environment that the UK can actually assist in that area. And I was quite at times, and I'll be very honest, quite at times, quite disappointed in some of the encounters in meeting business people there and their views of where they see South Africa going. And I see the South African Chamber UK can play a very vital role in trying to improve that situation. Thank you.
Thanks, Deva. Appreciate that.